Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. This is going to, like I said, it's gonna be recorded, so you guys can come back and watch us as you go, or if you can only watch half at a time, you can come back and watch it. But basically, this is just gonna be everything that you need to know to like come back and find the resources that you need. Because if I come and give you all the information at once, it's not really gonna sink in. You're only gonna pick up little pieces, but then later you'll get that under your belt and then be ready to move on. And you can come back to this video to pick up on things that you didn't pick up on the first time. So that's how that can work. And really, I'm just going to show you all the resources you have at your disposal. So to do that, let's see here. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to show you is your back office. So I already logged into my back office so you can see. If you just, as soon as you log in, what you will see is just this dashboard is what they call it. But it will show you what your coach ID is. That is basically your new social security number in the business, just in terms of like you'll need it for basically everything you do, even signing up for Summit and all of those things. And it will also show you your rank that you are currently, and it will also show you your lifetime rank, because like for a while I went up to diamond and I dropped back down to emerald. And so my lifetime rank was diamond, but I had dropped down to a paid rank of emerald, which meant that I got paid a little bit lower based on some of the cycle bonuses I was earning. And I'll explain all that later. That's nothing. But just know that your lifetime rank can be different from your paid rank. Everything else is pretty much like you want to pay attention to your current status, which it should be active. You want to also pay attention to your projected status, which should also be active, because if you don't have your 90 PB order, and for you guys starting off, it's 50 PB. So Shakeology actually gives you 90. 2 boxes of beach bars gives you 60. So like if you were like, hey, I've got enough, and this actually happened to a coach the other day. She's like, I have enough Shakeology because I ordered 2 bags my first month, so I need to put that on hold, but I want to stay active. She ordered 2 boxes of beach bars on HD, which she didn't actually, but we fixed it. She ordered 2 boxes of beach bars on HD, has to be on Home Direct, and then that is how she got her points. All right, so she got 60 PB for that. So as long as you're just a active coach or an emerald coach, 50 PB is enough to keep you active, which means it's enough to give you like compensation in the business. And the whole point behind that, because at first I was like, well, that's not fair. If I'm selling things, I should like get the bonuses and all that stuff. And the honest truth is like, if you're not investing in the business, then you're not going to be receiving from the business. That's just how it works. Not just with Beachbody, with anything. Like I always make the example of like my mom and dad, they own a car automotive shop, and it would be silly if their techs who work for them took their cars to somewhere else to get the oil change. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you want to invest in your business, and that's why they want to make sure that you keep active status. All right, and then Success Club qualification, you want to pay attention to that. I currently have 16 points, which means I have hit Success Club 10. And so your goal as a coach is to hit Success Club 5 each month, which basically means you're going to automatically hit Success Club 6 because you go in like increments of 2. So when you sell a challenge pack, you get 2 points. When you sell another one, you get 4 points. If you sell another one, you get 6 points. So you'll automatically hit Success Club 5 by helping 3 new people each month. So that's how that works. And by the way, there is not a difference. Sorry, there's not a difference in hitting Success Club 5 and Success Club 10. Obviously, the people that hit Success Club 10 are going to be earning more because they're selling more. But in terms of like hitting Success Club, when they say that, Success Club 5 is all you need. So don't think that like there's like any extra bonus other than just the commissions that you make off of that. I don't know why my throat is being weird. The next thing that I really want to point out to you is this is where you can find your earnings. So you can click here and it will show you your earnings. I would click on that, but then you'd see a bunch of things and it would open up a new can of worms, and that's a different training for a different time. but you can click right here and see what you're going to be earning the next week. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. But we do get paid on Thursdays, and Thursdays are also when pretty much anything in the business rolls around. So like if you have someone, which just happens to me all the time, when you have someone sign up on like a Tuesday, they'll usually send you a message on a Wednesday and they'll say, it says I'm inactive. And I'm like, that's because you're technically not active until the Thursday. Like you are not recognized as a coach until that next Thursday rolls around. So don't let that panic you guys or panic your team, because another thing that will happen too. I'll give you an example of a girl on my on my team who just joined. She got to Emerald within her first week in the business, but she technically got to Emerald on like a Monday, and so she woke up on Tuesday and was like, "Why am I not Emerald?" And because her rank change will not happen until that Thursday. So everything big like that, rank changes, getting paid, all of that, it all happens on a Thursday. So there's that. Road to Elite, once again, that's a different can of worms, but basically know that our team is shooting for Elite this year, and we've actually there's 4 benchmarks to do that, and we've actually just hit the first one, which is kind of the hardest one. And then from there, we will start earning, we'll earn the second one and the third, and then hopefully the fourth by the end of the year. So I'm really excited about that, but you'll catch more about what that is all about in our team calls. I'm not really going to go into that here. And then volume, once again, a little bit too much for today. I'm just going to show you where to find mostly just the resources for your business today. The big thing that I'm always checking, I actually get made fun of by some of the people in the business because I am anal about this, is I will always go right here to the news in the top corner, and I will go to the coach breaking news, and I will read every word in those things that come out, because I'm taking ownership of this business. I want to know what's going on and what's available to my customers and all of those things. And so this will tell you everything you need to know to just stay up to date, really. The warehouse sale, the Succeed Together promotion that I've sent to you guys, how to register for the Beachbody Classic, which, by the way, if you didn't know, this is a bodybuilding competition that we do at Summit. So if that's ever on your radar, just know that we do that. The Success Club rewards for the month, just all of the things. We have a new performance line coming out, which that's going to be huge. And when I say performance line, I don't mean Recover and Energize. I mean clothing. It's equivalent to Under Armour and Nike in quality. So I'm really excited about that. That's launching in July. That's just a side note. But that's why I stay up. That's why I stay up to date in this Coach Breaking News, is because I get to learn stuff like that, which puts me ahead of the game in terms of thinking and marketing. And okay, cool. This apparel is now going to count toward my volume, and it's going to count toward commissions. And so that's a big deal. How can I start talking about that to customers? Because, by the way, I have just personal experience. I bought their clothes before, so I know they're good quality. So, okay, I feel good talking about that to people because it's something I would want to share even if I didn't sell it. So how can I talk this into existence, basically? But so always go to your news. Another thing I'm always checking, which I have to move our little sidebar here. Let's see. Another thing I'm always checking is the training right here with this little whistle. Very appropriate since we're all coaches. But you can go and get any training you want here at all. If you have any questions about anything, you can go to this training. This, by the way, guys, this back office, you know that $15.95 or $16.95 fee we pay each month? That is what this goes toward, this and customer service, so that we don't have to take care of any of the shipping, and that we always have training and everything's up to date in our system. Basically, if we were doing this on our own, we would have to be doing all the bookkeeping ourselves. We don't have to, because Beachbody does that for us, and we basically just pay them $15 a month, which is a crazy good deal. Okay, I am going to click here on the Success Club system because I want to show you my biggest tool in the business. This is the Success Club system activity tracker. So if you are on this call and you're like, okay, I'm a hobby coach. I just kind of want to do this for fun. I don't really want to make it a business, because if you're just doing it for fun, you're not gonna make much money off of it, because it is a business. Think about any business in the world, how much work that takes, and just organization and thought. If you want to make this into a business, then you are going to want to check out the Success Club System activity tracker. This is what I base my entire business off of each and every day. Now, it's going to be very intimidating seeing this right out of the gate, and you probably won't mentally be able to handle it all at first, but you will work yourself up to that. I explain this the same way I explain working out. Your first 21-day fix, total body cardio, you were probably not able to do all of those moves that Autumn was barking out at us. Like, you were probably like stopping halfway through. You were probably going down in weights. You were maybe like doing some of the moves without weights. You were modifying. I remember my first workout with Autumn and how horrible and awful my poor body thought I was like abusing it. But now I can do those workouts without any problem because I built up to that. I genuinely believe the business activities that we do every day is the same thing. I do not expect to show you this Success Club tracker and for you to be able to go, okay, cool, I can check off all these boxes in perfect ease my first day. Like, you're going to look at some of these and be like, what? How do I do, like, what kind of clip of daily life do I need to put on here? Or like, what is an invitation or a promote group or a poll or a call to action or just whatever? Or how do I recognize someone? How do I shout somebody out? Like, I do not expect for you to see these and just go, okay, cool. Like, this is going to take some mental workout, just like those actual physical workouts do. Now, notice they're broken up into chunks. The first chunk is be proof the products work. I cannot say this enough, because I have some coaches that do not do that. And then they're wondering why their businesses aren't working. They are not showing up for their workouts. They are not completing full programs the way they are designed to be completed. They're not drinking their Shakeology regularly. They're definitely not eating right. And they can't figure out why they can't grow the business. This is number one for a reason. You have to lead by example. Like, I knew from the very beginning, which this is why I was hesitant to become a coach in the first place, was because I was like, well, I can't tell people about this until I have results. Like, that was just my mindset, and which is good and bad. But the good part of it is just the fact that it's like, you have to be leading by example. Even if you haven't reached your goal yet, or even if you're only halfway through a program, if you can see progress, that is being proof the products work. So even if you're 2 weeks in and you're like, hey, I lost an inch, that's something worth sharing. That's something worth telling people about. And that is being proof the products work. Or, maybe you have energy that you've never had. That is being proof the products work. You can share that. So anyways, that is the very first thing. If you are not active in a boot camp and in there showing up and cheering on other girls, then I can already tell you this business will not work for you. The second thing is the connect, invite, and follow up. So this is where you really focus on your social media and focus on actually having conversations, which I know is for a lot of people the scariest thing, right? But I will do an in-depth explanation on that later for you guys. But basically, just know that every single day I am starting new conversations with girls that I've never talked to before. I am continuing conversations with girls that I've started a conversation with, and I'll explain how I do that for you guys. I am very active on Instagram mostly. What I do actually is I just link everything from Instagram to go to Facebook as well. But I'm more active on Instagram. It's just easier. It's an easier platform. But I am not going to be one of these coaches that says Facebook is dead, because I still probably get half of my people from Facebook. So do not discount it. If you enjoy Facebook still, I would say use it, because I would say I still get a lot of people from Facebook. The other thing, like product use, like I show myself with a boomerang drinking my Energize before a workout, or I show my post-workout meal, like just little things that, and I know you guys are probably thinking, who cares? But you would be so amazed at the people that do care and do want to know what it is that you're doing, even if it's in little snippets like that, because they have no clue. They're completely clueless on doing, like, how you even figure out what workout to do, or what are you supposed to eat after a workout. And so they just like analysis paralysis, don't do anything because they're so scared. So that's what this is all about. It's about being a light for people who have no clue what they're doing. Responding to new likes and comments, reviews, that's an easy one. And I'll actually show you guys how to do that even better in a way that you probably haven't thought of before. invite people to join. That's so much easier than you think. That's actually my favorite thing to do. I enjoy inviting more than I do initiating connections and just having conversations. Like, I love inviting now because my mindset has totally shifted. And I've realized that, for example, Sarah, you probably wouldn't be part of my life if I hadn't invited you. Chelsea, you probably wouldn't be part of my life if I haven't invited you. When I invite now, there is this sense of excitement of like, who's going to be my next Sarah? Who's going to be my next Chelsea? Like, I just absolutely eat it up. So just know that that's actually the exciting part. And when you get told no, it's fine because usually they come back later. Just FYI, that's one thing. But just know that like that's the exciting part of this business. And then following up, which I'll show you later. The number 3 thing, this is also important. There's 4 vital behaviors. This is the 3rd vital behavior, is to get people results. So you have invited those people in chunk 2 there. What are you going to do for them? We're going to get them results. So we are going to contribute to our challenge group every day, which really, by doing that, just posting your workout in there is contributing to your challenge group. Eventually, whenever you start running your own challenge groups, then that will be your daily post, and then also posting your workout in your Shakeology. Recognizing achievement, I don't do that super duper often because I feel like if you do it all the time, then it becomes not special, if that makes any sense. But when I see someone like completely rocking it, I'll absolutely shout them out, or like let the group know what it is that that person is doing that's making them so successful. Respond to questions from customers and coaches. I do that every single day. That's through Instagram messages that they send me. That's even in the challenge group where they'll tag me and ask me a question. So that's how that works. And then number 4, which this is the one that everyone thinks, oh, well, it's the last one on the list, so I can skip it. But this is honestly the biggest difference maker in my business as well, is pouring into myself, because everyone knows, I mean, it's the most cliche statement, is that you can't pour from an empty cup. And it's cliche and it's said all the time because it's stinking true. If you are waking up feeling like a failure, if you are waking up feeling like, why do I make a difference? If you are waking up scared to do your actions for the day because you're scared of rejection, you are not going to make a difference in other people's lives because you're too busy thinking about yourself. It's just the plain and simple fact of it. But when you get up and you invest in yourself, you do your Bible study, if you do that, and then you go and you listen to 10 minutes of a podcast. My personal favorite, if you want to jot one down, is Women Inspiring Women with Melanie Mitro. She's one of the top 10 coaches for the last 5 years in our business. She's excellent. Another one that I love listening to is, I think it's just called the She podcast. And that is with, that's with Jordan Lee Dooley. And then the last one that I really love, and I really love this one, is Empower Her with Keisha Fitzgerald. And so those are my 3 favorites to listen to. Oh, and then there's always the Rise podcast with Rachel Hollis and things like that. I'm looking at mine right now just to kind of remember. There's the Rise podcast with her. And then there's also, you guys, this is a big one. This isn't so much personal development. This is more just like business development. And that would be the National Wake Up Calls. And that is also, there is a Team Beachbody podcast, and all of those are on there. You can also watch the live video on Facebook, which I'll show you here in a second. So anyways, this is what I do. This is what I work off of. I want to tell you guys, when I got in the business and I started really digging and looking at how I could actually be successful, I was waiting for some magic. I was like, okay, I'm going to wait. There's going to be some coach. They're going to slip up and they're going to tell me the secret that makes them so successful. And there's not. It's because they do this consistently. Like, this is what they do. They show up. They're consistent. Now, are you going to make one post? Just an example here. Are you going to make one post your first day and see immediate success? No. It's the same way as a workout program. Are you going to do one workout and reach all your goals? No. It's going to compound on itself. You have to continue working. You have to continue tracking your containers. You have to continue showing up for that workout and drinking your water and taking care of yourself. It's the exact same thing with this. You have to show up. You have to do a little bit of an Instagram story. You have to invite somebody. You have to follow up with them later. Like, that is just, it's like the little things. You have to build muscle here too. So there's that. And then I wanted to show you, this is the training. This is our team training. I'm going to update it again in July. I update it twice a year. But I'm going to update it again in July. But basically, if you go to this page on a desktop or even on a phone, and you go to the learning or the unit section, it lays it out in units so that you don't get totally lost. So there's that. Definitely go through those and even if you're like feeling stuck, you can always go back. Like for example, on this, in our first unit, the one day 4, I watch that one all the time. Like that's a personal development that I need all the time. And so about once a month, I'll go back and I'll watch that video and remind myself that like fear holds me back. It does nothing good for me, that I am just as capable as anyone else in this business, and all of that. So like, it's okay to go back to these if you finished it and you're like, okay, I kind of want to go back and remember what she said or whatever. You can do that. The next group I wanted to show you guys was just our general Team United Legacy group. This is just where you guys can like ask questions to the group, or there it is. Okay, ask questions. If you go to the files section here, there's a ton of help, which I want to show you here in a second. But basically, this is just our group. I go live in here from time to time. You can ask questions like, is Shakeology keto friendly? Is it gluten-free? Is it good for pregnancy? Basically, anything that I think is helpful, I share in this group, and so do other coaches on our team. So like, this is the She podcast I was telling you guys about. Alexa shared that to our group. So just basically anything that's of importance I put in this group. Now, if you go to the files section, I want to show you, I usually will upload an inviting guide per month, just to kind of show you guys what I'm doing for that month. So like, this is the May inviting guide. And I just walk you guys through it. This is the picture that I share with people to show them their options. And then there was something else. Oh, this inviting cheat sheet here. This is like basically my process for how I invite, which I have a in-depth training over that that I can share with you guys as a video, but that's just my little quick cheat sheet on how I do it. So there's that. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, this is, okay, I said something about the Team Beachbody Coach 411 or the National Wake Up Call. So if you go to Team, let's see, how did they change it? Team Beachbody. Yeah, TBB Coach 411. Now this is not a group, it's actually a like page. So anyone can see this. So like, let's say you have a potential coach, someone who's like thinking about the business, or maybe a customer who's really interested in maybe pursuing this as a business. You can send them to this page because it's a page, it's not a group. So you can tag them in any of the posts. They can listen to the national wake up calls. I mean, this is a really good way to like kind of pull them into the community without actually having to put them into a group that they may not want. But if you go to videos here, you will see the live videos, which these are the same thing that's on the podcast for Team Beachbody. But where is it? Let's see. The videos. Shoot, where'd it go? Oh, hold up, y'all. They changed it. Let me find this. Not the 80-day session. Okay. Where it says all videos, you'll just have to find it. But it's you'll just have to check the date. Look for the ones that are on a Monday. And so this right here was a national wake up call, which I'm thinking that was too. May 20th. Was that a Monday? Yes. Okay. And
Good morning.
You'll see, this is Sandy. She does a national wake up call. So if you see her face, you know it's a national wake up call. And then right here in the background, it'll say, this is your wake up call. So you can either get that through this Facebook page, TBB Coach 411, and go to the videos, or you can just go to the podcast if you don't care to see their faces. I kind of enjoy seeing their faces, so I like to watch it as a video, but you can do it from the podcast too, and it's totally fine. All right. I think that is all that I'm going to share today, because I feel like that's plenty. Is there any questions you guys have just in general? And I'll unmute.
Yeah, I had a couple of questions that I jotted down. There was one more, but I can't remember it. So, I know there's some beach body training videos, but I've been going through your like Facebook, like the learning that you were just talking about. Should I focus on the Lauren videos or the beach body ones first? Like if I'm only like, I want to do all of them eventually, but like, where should I start? I'm in like phase 2 of your videos.
I would say mine first, just because I have it tailored to our team specifically and how I do things, which I feel like you'll connect with more. Sometimes with the beach body videos, which is good because you need to see multiple ways to do it, because my way may not work for you. It just may not. Not that there's any difference in the activities, but there can be different ways that you can actually go about the activities. So like there are different ways to invite. I personally invite the way that feels comfortable to me. So if you're watching that training on inviting and you're like, yeah, I don't think that's the way I want to do it, then you can go look at the inviting videos from Beachbody and see what other coaches are doing. Know that no matter what, you're going to feel a sense of discomfort just because it's out of our norm to like go into other people's inboxes. But yes, just I would say start with ours just so you can see kind of what our team does. But then if you're like, okay, I liked, A, B, and C, but I want to see what Beachbody does like as a whole for X, Y, and Z. You see what I'm saying? But I would finish the team training first, and then I would move to the Beachbody videos.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I had, when I did my like coming out post or whatever, I had so many people hit me up, like probably like 20 people, and I had some like really good like I invited a lot of people. I had some really good conversations that even lasted like days, even like a week or two later they would like ask me follow-up questions, but at the end they were all like, nah, I'm good. Is that like kind of normal? And I feel like I was telling my husband, I said, this isn't just a product. Like it is a product, but it's not like, okay, I'll buy your purse. It's like, well, you have to change your lifestyle to see results. So I feel like maybe people are interested, but then when they see the work that has to go into it, they like are scared off. So I don't know what's.
Yes, that is completely normal. And you just don't let that discourage you. Don't let that scare you. If anything, that should really encourage you that you had 20 people come and like have conversations with you, because what you've done is you've planted a seed. They're thinking on it now. Okay. They're thinking on it, and they're going to be watching you. This is why it's so important to show up, because I can't even tell you the number of people who are like, hey, I remember you posted like 3 years ago about it, but I just didn't they'll be honest with me. They'll say, I just didn't trust it, or I thought it was another scam, or I thought it was this or that. But I just tried to put on the pants that I love, and they wouldn't button, and then you were the first thing coming to my mind. So like, that's where the consistency comes in of just just continuing to be continuing to show up. And they may take 3 years, but you know what? I've got nothing but time personally. Like I want to keep showing up for myself anyway. So it's fine by me. I'm going to be here for as long as I can walk, hopefully. So that's my goal. And so yes, totally normal. It happens to me all the time. Like I almost know, it's so ingrained in me now that I never get excited about a conversation initially, because I know it's not probably going to come to fruition for about 6 to 8 months. Like that's just kind of how I've noticed it happens. They really don't.
Yeah, and that's actually how it happened with us too. Oh, that was my other question. How did you find me? Because I watched the like one of the training videos, and they were talking about how like you would just go to like a page or whatever, because I was thinking maybe you'd find people off hashtags, but my account's private. So I know you probably don't know how you found me specifically.
I don't know which account it was, but it was because you follow an account that I follow, and you liked one of their pictures, and I just went and found people who liked the picture or liked whatever the post, and I requested. So even if you were a private account, if you had a normal looking profile picture, because there are some people without normal looking as long as you look like a normal human and we're female, I clicked request. And then, I'll be honest, like probably 60% of those people, maybe 70, don't follow me back, and that's fine. But the 30% that do are my people, and that's what I love. So
Right. Okay.
I'm curious now to know which account it was that you
I
and I
know.
put together.
Yeah, because when I watched that video, I was like, oh, I wonder how she found me. Because I had a friend who asked, like, how did your coach even find you? I was like, I don't actually know. Because I never, it was like a God thing. Because I like 100% of the time do not accept requests for people I don't know. So I don't know how you even made it through, but you did. So that was great. Okay, so I have a lot of questions. I'm sorry.
No,
When you sign up, is it like beneficial from like a business standpoint to sign up a coach versus a customer?
yeah, it just depends. So at the beginning, I did only customers because I was too scared to have them enroll as a coach, just because I was like, I just had a lot of limiting beliefs. Like, you think that you have a lot, but I wish you could have met Lauren 3.5 years ago. She was just the worst human being ever. I just didn't. I was like, no, they don't need that, and I don't want to rope them into that. I'm not going to tie them down with this or blah blah blah. But like, I finally started letting people make their own decisions for themselves, which is a big deal. And so what I do is I just will send them a message, and I'll say, well, first of all, for the share a cart, I'll say, I just need to know what flavor of Shakeology you want. What option is it that you want? They'll tell me, and they'll give me their email address. And then I will actually just go ahead and enroll them as a coach. And then not all the time. Sometimes I'm in a hurry, and I just literally will send them a link, and we can talk about the coaching thing later if it comes up. But I do about half coach, half customer at this point, just because of that, because there is a benefit to having a little bit of both. But I think probably starting off, it's okay to just focus on customers. And then slowly, like as you're ready, to start talking to them about the coach opportunity. Because I remember I was so scared for so long. And then finally one month it hit me. I was like, I am actually not doing them justice, because they are still ordering Shakeology and paying full price. And I could be saving them a few bucks, and I'm not. So that's rude of me. And so I finally approached I approached all my customers. I was like, listen, I just want you to know that this is an option. And like 6 of them signed up to be a coach, which got me to Emerald, and then also actually eventually got me to Diamond. And then the best part is if you enroll, which I didn't know this at the time, but if you enroll 5 coaches within a 5-week span, you get an extra $100 bonus just put in your bank account the next week. And I was like, what? So like, there's benefits for sure. And then if they need to cancel, they can cancel. Like, I have coaches cancel all the time because they get their discount for 6 months, and then they're kind of done with it because they get a little backed up, and then they cancel their account, and then they restart it later on. So like, that's another thing too, is you just can't take it, like, can't let it hit home, I guess, in that sense. But, so yeah, just whatever you're comfortable with. If you're ready to go full out, be a discount coach, let them know that.
Okay. So obviously I know you're a mom and you just like fit things in when you can, but do you have like any sort of like office hours set aside, or like do you just do it after the kids go to bed, or like, I don't know, I'm just having a really hard time. Like I can engage like the few clients I have or customers, whatever. I'm like answering their questions, and I'm really active in the boot camp, but I feel like I thought I was going to get through these training videos a lot faster, but my kids are just like needing me all the time. So I was just wondering, like,
Yes.
do you just tell your husband like, hey, this is my hour, or?
Yes. So, and like Chelsea doesn't have that option. So like it's different for different moms. It really is. So I had a conversation with Josh, and I was like, listen, this is making us money. And at this point, I was embarrassed. I was too embarrassed to ask him at first because I felt guilty. You know, mom guilt, where you're just like,
yeah,
I should only put all my focus on my children and shouldn't have anything of my own. And so finally I was like, no, this is making our family money, and it's blessing us, and it's money that we need, like, to eat groceries. So I finally had a conversation with him and told him my goals and told him what I would like to see in a respectable way. I didn't say, I need this hour from 8 to 9 p.m. every night, but I was just like, hey, I just need an hour here and there. And it's not always the same. I wish it could be, but you both know with kids, it just can't be. And so sometimes they'll be like, hey, I can go take them to the park if you want an hour to work. I'm like, yes. And so, but I have to almost get out of the house because I'll try to clean and do all the things. And I'm like, no, Lauren, you just need to go do this. You can clean another day, but just do this. And so I usually will try to spend about an hour all at once just so I can get in total business mode. And then that way, when my kids come back, I can get out of business mode, because I had tried that for a very long time of the power pockets, which if you can work that way, that's fine. If you can do 15 minutes here and 15 minutes there and then 15 here, then that's great. But my mind is like a little obsessive. And so I would be thinking, I would do 15 minutes and then I couldn't turn that off. And I would be thinking about it the whole time I was with my kids, and I would get frustrated with them because I would want to keep doing what I was doing. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to. And so for me, my favorite, like my most creative time is at night. So usually I will put them to bed and I will get like hot on a trail and do all my activities at once and then go to bed. And so then I wake up in the morning and I can answer a few questions of people I messaged the night before, and then carry on my day and not think. I really don't think about Beachbody again until I get back on my hours.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. One more.
No, you're good.
So have you ever, I mean, like, I know I've heard it said a lot that like social media is your storefront, so you kind of have to be active on there. But have you ever in like your 3.5 years taken like a social media hiatus or anything like that? Like, I feel personally like I'm like, man, I think I need to just get off social media. I'm feeling like it's a little toxic for me right now. But I also don't like, I just came out, and so I don't want to like go off the grid. So I was just wondering what your opinion was.
Because I'm the same way. Like I will literally have moments where I tell Josh, I'm like, if I even see the Instagram app, I'm going to freak out. Like I can't even think about it. And it's like what you said, where you start feeling toxic, you start feeling like comparing yourself, and I'm not as thin as she is, and she's got more muscle, and she's clearly following the nutrition plan better, and I can't stop eating Fruit Loops or just whatever it is.
Yeah.
What my personal thing that I do, and I give you permission to do this to me without any hard feelings, is I mute people. If there is someone that keeps coming up into my feed and it gives me those toxic feelings, I will go to my notifications and I will mute them. And what it does is it sends their stories all the way to the back of the line of all my followers, and it doesn't show me their posts. Because here's the thing, and I'll give you an example. There's a girl in my hometown who's a really, really successful fitness professional, and she actually just works at a gym. She does not do Beachbody at all. She works at a gym, but her like Instagram account is always blowing up, and I'm like, I don't understand. I'm doing the exact same thing she's doing, and she's getting all this, and blah, blah, and then, like that's the mindset and I love her. Just to be clear, I love this girl, love her.
Right.
Like I give her big neck hugs when I see her, but I'm still sitting there comparing myself. Like, why is this happening? And I can't do this, and she got 1,000 likes, and I only got 14. I just muted her stories, and my life has been exponentially better. Like it's not her, it's just the comparison, and it's sad, but that's what it is. Or I'll see, oh, this happened too. Like I had poured into this girl for 1.5 years about Beachbody. She kept turning me down, and then the next month I see her talking about Transform 20, and she has signed up with her next door neighbor and is doing the Transform 20 workouts. And I was like, I sent you packets of Shakeology and you didn't. And it like there was the toxic feelings again. So I muted her stories and sent her to the back, and now I'm fine. So like, give yourself permission to mute people.
Yeah, that's a good
follow
idea.
them, because obviously that could lead to, did you unfollow me? You know, that kind of stuff. But I just mute them, and then they go to the back of my feed, and it's fine, and then I don't think about it. There was another girl that did that too here recently. It was actually a really, really big, deep emotional hit for me. She signed up as a coach with my upline instead of with me. And we were friends, and she didn't even know my upline. And I think she honestly did it out of total ignorance, but it still like killed me. And so I had to mute her stories. I was like, I can't deal with it. It will shut me down every time I see it. And so just give yourself permission to mute stories of people that give you those toxic feelings, and you'll feel 10 times better.
I did not even know you could do that.
I know. I didn't either until I just did it. And I was like, oh, this is magical. Which it's sad because I love all the girls I muted, but Like,
Yeah. No, I get it.
those issues. So you can mute me if I give you those feelings for some reason. Mute
No,
me.
it's not you. For me, it's more like moms who are just doing it better. And I'm like, listen, I am barely hanging on.
They're not doing it better. They just
Right.
are. They're not.
And honestly, so one of my my customers that I brought over, she had a different coach, and she was like, I just couldn't handle my coach. She was so intense. She would wake up at 4:30, do her Bible study, do her workout. She would meal plan all before I even woke up, and I just felt like that was unattainable. And I was like, then get out of there. I was like, I'm not telling you not to be her coach because I feel like that's wrong, or like not to be her customer. But if you really feel like that and it's keeping you from working out and eating right because you just feel like a failure, don't do it. And she was like,
Amen.
you're so right. So I
Amen.
was
That's
like
right.
so grateful that you're real and that everyone on the in our boot camp is real, because I really feel like that's how you get people to like stick around longer, because it's just not, I mean, I guess for some people it's sustainable, but not for the average person. Yeah. So it's
I
crazy.
try and I can't do it.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's good to hear. That's awesome that you like, that's good. That's good. Good, good. All right, it's gonna kick us off in less than a minute, so I'm just gonna kick us off so it doesn't give us
Okay.
power. But this was good, you guys. I'll talk to you later.
Love you. Bye.